Good evening, Janvi. Hello, Harsh, Durgesh, Ankik, Darshan, Sara, Gunjan. Please confirm fast. Am I audible properly? Shilpi, Zinab, Nakshatra, Devyani. Good evening. TSD non-engineering. अरे भाई still थोड़ा सा वेट और भास्कर. Thank you, Durgesh. I know that non-engineering module is remaining for the TSD part. I was busy actually in too many things, so I will try to do it as soon as possible. Our icon admin is also repeatedly after me when it is going to be finished. Okay, good evening everyone. We still have 2-3 minutes to start. Anything? How is algebra going on now? I hope gradually you are gaining some hold over it. Nakshatra says arithmetic में बहुत backlog हो गया है. Backlog gradually, slowly you can cover it up. Don't worry. Don't leave any topic. See, I've seen many students sometimes they leave one topic. Arithmetic छोड़ देता हूँ, or maybe algebra छोड़ देता हूँ, like that. So never leave any topic. We should be well conversant with the basics of all the topics, because in examination sometimes you get very easy questions from a topic. It's not that always you are going to get difficult or tricky questions from every topic. ठीक है ना? So don't leave any topic. You should be well conversant with basics of every topic. Tricky question maybe you won't be able to do at the time of test. It is difficult part, but basic questions certainly you must be able to do. That's what I'm saying, Bhaskar. There could be difficult questions, so it may be possible at the time of exam also. You may have practiced enough, but there is a tricky question from a topic. You may not be able to do it at that time. So, but the easier questions you must be able to do for sure. Harsh says CAT 23 में तो modern maths भी इतनी आई थी. हाँ, modern maths means your set theory and your counting part, permutation, combination. That is always there. 2-3 questions at least you will be finding there. Backlog you can always cover whenever you are missing some classes, so you should cover it up as soon as you get time. But as I said initially, don't leave any topic. ठीक है? Okay, so I think we should start now. So as we have seen in the previous sessions, yes, good evening Suyash and Mohit, Hare Krishna Mohit. So what I was saying, as we have seen in the previous sessions that we are going more and more mathematical, type of questions you are getting. Some of the students in the comments I can see today also, you are getting Z vibes in IIT or engineering part. Everything is enough any. Don't be bothered by that. How much is enough? Do something. Whatever something you are able to do, that is enough. The problem is that we don't do anything. We don't start the journey. Just start the journey. Everything you will be able to do. Don't worry. Okay, let's start now. हाँ, Janvi, that happens. Algebra, Janvi says थोड़ा tough लग रहा है. It happens as you will move to the next topic. That next topic will look difficult. The previous one will become easier. अरे वो तो आसान था. ये देखो और मुश्किल है, like that. So that is the nature of our mind. So whenever we get some new thing, so generally we find it is tougher. But the benefit, the positive point is that it makes the earlier thing comparatively easier. So now most of the students must be more comfortable with the numbers part, arithmetic part. And after algebra, when we will move to the next topic, then you will find that portion tough, and then algebra will become easier. है ना? Okay, let's start now. So yesterday we discussed different inequalities, so and also maxima minima part, right? And so last topic which we did was the maxima minima only, specifically those two identities. Remember, when sum was constant, then product can be maximized, and if product is constant, then sum can be maximized. So today we are going to start with that only. So inequalities and modulus. So these are our two topics for the day, and I was just going through this presentation, this PPT, and it is again much more mathematical. So don't be much bothered by that, and we will try to make it less mathematical, more understanding based. Fine. So let's start with our today's part. And as I said, first we are going to discuss the same things, same questions which we discussed yesterday about maximizing or minimizing an expression depending upon whether sum is constant or product is constant. Fine. So I hope you can remind what was the identity, what was the result? What was the result? The result was if sum is constant, in that case product can be maximized, right? Product can be maximized. What was the process? The process was to make all the terms equal. Make all the terms equal. That was a common method. This was the first scenario. And the second scenario was, if product is constant, then sum can be minimized by same method, by making all the terms equal, right? Yes, so if product is constant, then sum can be minimized, and if sum is constant, then product can be maximized. So that was the idea, and it was based on our algebraic identity of inequality of AM is greater than equal to GM. Fine? Maxima minima is not a separate topic. We find questions related to maxima minima in almost all of the algebraical part. So we discussed this inequality yesterday. Arithmetic mean is greater than equal to geometric mean, and based on that, we found these two important results. And I told you this is the most used variety of maxima minima questions which you find in our exam. Okay, so we did some questions yesterday as well. Now, this is the first question for the day. A is greater than 0, B is greater than 0, and 8ab square equals 9. Then what is the minimum value of 3a plus 2b? Please try to solve. And those who are having some doubt how to solve, we'll discuss afterwards. First, try it yourself. You are not late, Aditya. We have just started. This is the first slide we are seeing. This is the first question. And it's based on the topic which we discussed yesterday only. Yes, answers please. Okay, here's the first answer. Aditya says 29 by 9. Okay. Yes, Kashish, this is this topic we discussed yesterday. Dipanshu says 49 by 8, Aditya 3 by 16. All different answers so far, and all answers are with question mark. That means you are doubtful. Nakshatra says 15 by 2. Shubham says 2. Tanishk 9 by 4. Khyati 17 by 8. I'm sorry, but all these answers are not correct. Gunjan says 9 by 2. Gunjan? Yes, 9 by 2 or 4.5. That is the correct answer. Yes, I can see many of these values now. 9 by 2 or 4.5, that is the correct answer. Good. Okay, but different answers means that many of you are still confused about this, how to go about it. See, let me take a simple example again. Let's start from that part. See here, if we discussed that yesterday, if a plus b is constant, let's say 10, then we can maximize the product of the terms. If sum is constant, then product can be maximized. A into b maximum. So when this product will be maximum? When each term is equal. Okay, now we discussed it this part yesterday. If sum is constant, then product can be maximized by making the terms equal. So the terms whose product we want to maximize, we need to see that whether the sum is constant or not. And yes, it is given. A plus b is constant. It is 10. So to make the product maximum, what we need to do? I need to make both the terms equal. If both the terms are going to be equal, they must be 5 each. So that's correct answer. 5 into 5, 25. So this is the maximum value for this product. We just wrote this result also just prior to this. If sum is constant, then product can be maximized. But which product can be maximized? That we need to see whose sum is given constant. Okay, in the same question, if I ask you, a plus b is 10, this was the first part. Let's say now second part. If I ask you, say, a into b power 4. I want to find the maximum value of this. Now what? Now what? A into b square. I want to maximize, I want to find the maximum value of a into b raised to power 4. Now mind that, now we don't need to put the value of a and b equal, because we do not know the sum of a plus b power 4 is constant or not. No, we don't know that. We know a plus b is constant. We know that a plus b is constant. So how we are going to apply this? Kshitij, that's an example. We are discussing the concept again. We are discussing the concept again. So that's an example. I have taken that. It is given. Given that this, then we have to find these values. We are taking an example. Okay, I can say 32, 31.25, I think Vihana is writing, or 3125. Preetham also says 32. How you are getting 32? Vihana is getting 5 into 5 raised to the power 4. If you keep all the values equal to 5 also, then 5 times 5 power 4 will be 5 raised to the power 5. That is 3125. 32 is a very small number. How are you getting 32? By the way, Vihana, why are you taking them to be 5 only? Can't it be more than that? See, this Tausif Bakr is saying 9 power 4. You can take A equal to 1 and B equal to 9. What is the value of 9 power 4? Please calculate. 9 power 4 is, yes, 8. 9 power 4 will become 81 square. That is how much? 81 square. It's 6561, I think. 6,000 something. But here I'm seeing one more answer. 6561, yes. But here I'm seeing one more answer before that. I just missed it. So 6561 is certainly more than 3125. And in between, Krishna Bajaj 8192. That is still better. Some of you said earlier that by putting 5 each, so 5 into 5 power 4 was 3125. But 3125 is better, hai na? 6561. And better than this is 8192, I guess. So not closest integer. That is a wrong conception. That's why we are discussing it again. There was one answer, 8192, I guess I missed that. So कैसे solve करना है? Listen, please listen. So it's not that we have to take A and B equal. No, it's not that. See, we want to maximize this product, right? So in this 8192 was one answer. So 8192 is better if it is possible. See, 5 ये कैसे आया? 5 into 5 power 4. Let's check these values. 6561 कैसे आया? By taking A1 and B as 9. How did you get 8192? Can you tell the values? Yes, it is 2 into 8 power 4. 2 into 8 power 4. Just try to observe how you are getting this value. Certainly 8192 is greatest value out of these three. है ना? So just observe the values of A and B. A and B, if you take equal 5, that gives us 3125, which is a smaller number. If you take 1 and 9, A as 1, B and 9, B as 9, that gives slightly better answer. But better than that is 2 and 8. Take A as 2 and B as 8. So that gives the better value, isn't it? And actually, this is the maximum value. So before moving into mathematics of it, just we can see this 2 and 8, they are in the ratio 1:4, right? So this was actually A power 1 and B power 4. So whatever is the power of these two numbers, we need to divide our value 10 in that ratio only. So distribute this 10 in the ratio 1:4. That is, take the value of A as 2 and value of B as 8. So this is actually the maximum answer. And how did we get this? कैसे पता लगा? So let's use that identity only, that rule only. If product is to be maximized, sum needs to be constant. 4.5 for the question. That is correct answer, Varsha. So the product needs to, if we want to maximize this product, sum must have been constant. But in this case, it is A into B power 4. See, A plus B power 4. Is it constant? Is it constant? No. This is not constant. What is given? A plus B is given. That is constant. Right. So what we need to do, because we want in the product B raised to the power 4, so I need to break this B in 4 equal parts. Somebody has written that in comments. That's perfectly fine. So we need to break this B in 4 parts. I know that A plus B by 4 plus B by 4 plus B by 4 plus B by 4. That is A plus B basically. That is constant. This is equal to 10. Yes or no? Right? Achha, by the way, why we are making B by 4 only? Because ultimately we are going to make them equal. We want to make them equal. If sum is constant, then their product will be maximum by making the terms equal. So B by 4, they are going to be equal. Right? So why we have taken 4 terms? Because in the product, we wanted to have B raised to power 4. Right? In the product, we wanted to have B raised to power 4. And there was only one power of A. So A will remain A single only. But for B, I wanted to have 4 terms. That's why this B has been split into 4 equal parts. B by 4 each. Fine? That's what we are discussing, Shruti. I'm not checking these values. I have just taken your values which you have given and we are just observing them, not discussing how to solve it, how to go about it. So what we need to do, so if sum is constant, then their product can be maximized by making each of the terms equal. That is our method, right? That was our method based on the A and G inequality. So here, sum of these 5 terms is constant, it is 10, that is given. And why I have written this? Because in this product, I will be having A into B raised to the power 4. So their product will be maximum when each term is equal. Right? So each term is equal. That means A must be equal to B by 4 equals to B by 4 equals B by 4 equals B by 4. All these 5 terms must be equal. And equal to how much? Equal to 10 by 5. Divide this 10 in 5 equal parts. That means 2 each. And which gives us directly the value. That means A must be equal to 2. And this B by 4 must also be equal to 2. That is B must be equal to 8. So this set of values of A and B is going to give us the maximum answer. So which is there? 2 into 8 power 4, 8192. ठीक है ना? Mamansha, just try to understand what I have done here. I have said all the things. Just take a moment and try to grasp what we has written here. I'm repeating the whole thing again. I think somebody has written in the comments also. Let's take one more example. Don't worry. That's why I'm taking this example so that you must be able to understand. Ratta thodi na marna hai. Okay, some of you are clear, some of you are still doubtful. Let me take one more example and then let's check. Rahul, 256 you can take on the other side. Now, what's the issue? If you multiply all these terms, so this is A into B by 4 into B by 4 into B by 4 into B by 4. This product will be maximum when each term is equal, right? So when we multiply them, you are going to get a into b power 4 upon 4 into 4 into 4 into 4. That is 256. It's fine, no problem. 256 is a constant value, right? But a into b power 4 is going to be maximized, right? So this maximum value is going to be when each term is equal to 2. So 2 into 2 into 2 into 2 into 2 like that. This is 2 power 5. That is 32. Achha, some of you were giving answer 32. I understood now. That's how you were giving 32. So 32 needs to be multiplied with 256. That will be our answer basically. So 32 is not correct. Some of you were writing 32 in the beginning. I was just figuring it out. How did you get that? So it is 32 multiplied with 256. That is the answer. It is 32 multiplied with 256, which is 8192. Okay? Okay, let's take one more example now. Let's take one more example. Same story. A plus b was 10 only. First part we did maximum value of a into b. In that case, because sum of these two terms is constant, so we made both the terms equal, that is 5 each. So 5 into 5 was the answer, 25. And the second case we just did, that was a into b power 4. We wanted to find maximized value. So what we did, we didn't make a and b equal. We made 4 equal terms of b by 4 each, and then we made them equal, right? So that's how we got that a and b must be in the ratio 1:4, which I directly said also. So a must be 2 and b must be 8. We need to divide this 10 in the ratio 1:4. That is 2 into 8 power 4, which is 8192. Okay, now third part. What will be the maximum value of a square b cube? Try to find the answer fast. A square into b cube. Thanks, Ashu, answering on my behalf to Ria. Good. A square into b cube, maximum value. What should be the values of a and b? Okay, 3, 4, 5, 6. Many of you are saying, oh, that's a good number. 1, 3, 4, 5, 6. Consecutive numbers. Good, good. So values of a as 4 and value of b as 6. Excellent, excellent. So a and b must be divided in the ratio 2:3 only. So this 10 must be distributed among a and b in the ratio 2:3. That is, a should be 4 and b should be 6. So answer would be 4 power 2 multiplied with 6 power 3. And whatever it comes out to be, you are saying is 3, 4, 5, 6. So 6 cube is 216, 216, and this is 16. So 216 को 16 से multiply कर दो. 16, 16 to 46, 46 to 6 बात है. So 3, 4, 5, 6. That's the right answer. And what was the idea? So basically we are to make 2 parts of A and 3 parts of B. I think Ria was asking if it is power 5 to 5 से divide कर देंगे क्या? Yes. We want to make 2 equal parts of A. So if we want to make 2 equal parts of A, that means A by 2, isn't it? So it will be A by 2 plus A by 2. Similarly, we want 3 equal parts of B, so that their product comes out to be B cube. So that will be B by 3, B by 3, B by 3. And this sum is constant, which is equal to 10. So to make this product maximized, so we need to make each of the terms equal and equal to how much? The 5 parts of 10, that is 2 each. That means A by 2 should also be 2, which means A equals 4, and this B by 3 must also equal to be 2. That is B equals 6. That's how we got these values 4 and 6. Okay? Is it okay now? One last part before we move to the actual question. So one last part. Now tell me the answer fast. What if I ask the maximum value of A into B cube, let's say. A into B cube. What should be the values? Preetham, which first one? All the questions we have solved here. A into B cube. What should be the values of A and B? Tathagat, good question. A by 2 कैसे आया? I was also thinking, अरे बाबा, if you are to distribute this 10 in 5 equal parts, तो 10 के 5 equal parts क्या बनेंगे? What will be the 5 equal parts of 10? That's 2 each, isn't it? 10 by 5. So that's how we got to the value as 2. And that's correct, many of you are writing that. So basically A will be 2.5 and B will be 7.5. And whatever we get after multiplication will be our answer. So A must be 2.5 and B must be 7.5. Basically in the ratio of 1:3. So on simplification, that will give us value, and that will be some decimal number, of course. It was not mentioned here A and B are natural numbers. So we can take them in decimals as well. Fine. So on multiplication, you can find the answer. Anyway, so this was the first idea. When sum is constant, in that case, product can be maximized. So which product, what product we need to maximize? We need to see it accordingly. We need to break the sum accordingly. We need to break the sum accordingly so that we can understand which terms are to be equal. It's not that always make A and B equal. No. Sometimes we need to make A by 2 and B by 3 equal. Sometimes we need to make something else equal. In this case, we need to make A and B by 3 equal, like that. अगर natural number ना बोला हो, we are discussing about the positive. This condition is there when A and B are positive real numbers. That's it. All this idea, all these rulings, this inequality which we discussed, AM greater than or equal to GM. So it was valid for positive real numbers. For positive real numbers. So this was the first rule of that. If sum is constant, then product can be maximized like this. And its reverse case was what was being asked in this question. Yes, 2.5 into 7.5 cube, that's the right answer. Okay. If it would have asked about natural numbers, then you can look for the values. Whether 3 and 6, 3 and 7 will satisfy, 3 and 7 will give the better value, or 2 and 8 will give better value. That you need to check then. In case it is asking about natural numbers. Okay? Not required, I have left it. Not required to find cube of this number. It's okay. Large number will not be asked to you in exam. This is just for understanding the concept. And by the way, even if it is asked in the exam, so you can use calculator there, no problem. Okay? Ashi says, sir, why not 2 into 6 cube? Ashi, it is not my wish, whatever values I can take. So you are suggesting 2 and 6 in the ratio 1:3, right? But listen, try to understand, a plus b is given 10, na? So we need to break this 10 in the ratio 1:3, right? We need to break this 10 in the ratio 1:3. That's how we selected 2.5 and 7.5. Fine? And why they are coming in this ratio, that we have already discussed. This A needs to be a single entity only, and for this B, to make it B cube, I need to break this B in 3 parts. That is B by 3, B by 3, B by 3. That's how we got that A and B must be in the ratio 1:3. Fine? Okay. So this was the first thing. When sum is constant, then product can be maximized. We took some examples. Let's take the second case. It's reverse. If product is given constant, then sum can be minimized. Right? Okay. Let's move to the second part now. So the second part is, if product is given constant, let's say A into B is given constant as say 100, again condition is that the numbers are positive real numbers. So if product is given constant, in that case we can minimize the sum by making the terms equal. So the logic is same. So what will be the minimum value of A plus B? That is the first part now. So the minimum value. Okay, answer to this first part. What will be minimum value of A plus B? We discussed it yesterday also. Yes, it is going to be 20. That's a straightforward question. Because we want to minimize the sum of A plus B, and product of A and B only is constant. It is 100. Right? So we need to match that thing. So because A into B is constant, so sum of these two terms will be minimum when both of the terms are equal. That is square root of 100 each. Right? That is 10 each. So 10 plus 10, that is 20. That's the right answer. Now next question. If I want to find the minimum value of 4A plus 9B. Now, what will be the minimum value of 4A plus 9B? Fast, please, fast. We need to cover a lot more things. This is a just extension of the thing which we did yesterday. 4A plus 9B minimum. Now don't make A and B 10 each again. Prathamesh, how it can be? Suppose you would have taken A and B 10 each, तो भी 130 बन जाना था भाई. अच्छा 130 से कम करना है ना अभी. 120, okay, 120. So 130 is also Akshay saying 130. But many of you saying 120. Kavya, I think some typing error. 1200 आ गया, 0 extra आ गया. 120, most of you saying 120 now. See, the idea is same. That product of these two terms should have been constant, right? So is their product constant? Let's check. So 4A multiplied with 9B, that means 36 times AB. Is it constant? AB is constant, we know it is 100. So this product becomes 3600, which is actually constant value, right? This is constant value. So this product is constant, so this sum can be minimized by making both the terms equal. So 4A and 9B, we want both of them to be equal. Equal to how much? Of course, again, square root of 3600. That is 60 each. So this must be 60 and this must be 60. So that the product is equal to 3600 and the sum would become 60 plus 60, that is 120. So 120 is the right answer. So Prathamesh, it is exactly the same way as we were discussing in the last question. When sum was constant, we were to maximize the product. Now product is constant, we have to minimize the sum. So the sum which we need to minimize, we need to see whether the product of those terms is constant or not. And we need to arrange it according to the given information. हाँ, product 100 ही तो है ना A और B का. What is the product of A and B? It is 100. Janvi, product of A into B is 100. So we want to find out the minimum value of 4A plus 9B. So what about product of these two terms? Is it constant? That we should ask ourselves. So 4A into 9B, is it constant? Yes, because it comes out to be 36 times A into B. A into B is constant, it is given 100. So 36 times A into B is going to become 3600, which is a constant value. So now product of these two terms is constant. So their sum can be minimized by making both of them equal. That is the basic AMGM identity. So that's how we got these values. So now somebody is asking what will be the values of A and B. You can find out. So 4A is 60, so A comes out to be how much? 15. And same way 9B is 60, so B would be 60 by 9 or 20 by 3. Okay? So they are not integrals, but they are positive numbers. Is it okay? Okay, one more part. Third part. If I ask you 3A plus 12B, minimum value. Answer fast. What will be the minimum value of 3A plus 12B? Aditya is very fast with the answer. Harsh also. Good. Yes, it is same. Nice, Karthik. I'm happy that you understood. See, again, the product is same. All the steps are same. So answer is again 60 plus 60, that is 120. And of course, what will be the values of A and B? That will change. But that is not what we are looking for. We are looking for the minimum value of this complete expression. It is going to be same 120. Fine. Okay, now let's come to the actual question. I hope this is clear to everyone. I'm coming to the actual question now. So, let me erase the screen. So this was the actual question here. Let's solve it together now. Now it says 8ab square, that is constant. Let me write it again. It is given that 8 into a into b square, that is constant now. It is 9. And we want to find the value, minimum value of 3a plus 2b. We have to find the minimum value of 3a plus 2b. That is the question. So now how to go about it? Directly we can't say put a and b equal because their product is not given equal. 3a into 2b, is it constant? No. What is constant? In the product we are having two terms of b, it is b square. So basically we need to break this 2b as b plus b, right? So basically product of 3a multiplied with b and multiplied with b. This product is constant. Is it not? Let's say it again. So 3a plus b is what we want to minimize, and product of 3a into b, which means 3 times ab square. Right, this product becomes 3 into ab square, and this ab square, to make it basically b square, I have broken this 2b part. Somebody can ask why I have done b into b, because I wanted to have b square in the product. Fine. So 3 into ab square. Now ab square is 9 by 8, so this value comes out to be 3 times 9 by 8, or basically 27 by 8, or in other words we can say 3 by 2 whole square, whole cube. So this product is constant. So product of these three terms is constant, 3 by 2 cube. So their sum will be minimized by making each of the terms equal. How much? 3 by 2 each. So the answer comes out to be 3 by 2 plus 3 by 2 plus 3 by 2. That is 9 by 2 or 4.5. So this is the right answer. Is it okay? See, this is the same idea which we discussed last time in the last questions also. The product given constant is a into b square. It is not a into b. So because in the product we are having two terms of b square, so we need to have two terms of b in the sum which we want to minimize. That's how we have broken this part as 3a plus b plus b. Now product of these three terms is constant, and then that's how we are applying our rule of this a and g inequality. Okay, let's say in the same question, in the same data, if I ask you one more question, please answer. What will be the minimum value of, if I ask you, say, a plus 2b? Can you find the minimum value for this? Minimum value of a plus 2b. Now, how we need to go about it? Tulika says I took 4 inside b. Yes, okay, no issues. That's good, rather, maybe. That's right, Tulika. So a plus 2b we want to minimize now. So again, product is having two terms of b. So we need to write it like this. It is a plus b, which we want to minimize. And this can be minimized because their product, that is a into b is constant. So a into b square is 9 by 8. A into b square is 9 by 8. So this product is constant. So this sum will be minimized when each terms become equal. That equal to how much? Cube root of 9 by 8. So cube root of 9 by 8, each term becomes like that. And there are 3 such terms. So answer is actually 3 times cube root of 9 by 8. Yes, 9 by 8 becomes their product. Their product becomes 9 by 8. So to minimize their sum, what we need to do, each term must be equal to cube root of that. Aryan asks, sir, why we are not taking a, b equals 3 by 2 root 2? This square is of b only, not of a. It is 8 multiplied with a multiplied with b square. It's not ab whole square. Okay, Aryan, I hope this answers your question. I'm explaining it again, don't worry. Don't bother by this cube root. Let me tell this again. See, 8ab square is given equal to 9. This is 8 into a into b square. That is given equal to 9. Fine. Which means a into b basically, it is given equal to 9 by 8. So the question which I just asked was that, what is the minimum value of a plus b, that is a plus 2b. So now sum of these three terms is to be minimized. What we need to see? We need to see whether their product is constant, and yes, it is. Right? The product is constant. So if product of three terms is constant, let's take another example. If product of the three terms, say x plus x is product is constant. What should I say? Let's say the product be maybe 1000. There are three numbers whose product is equal to 1000. Okay, please answer this one now. There are three terms whose product is equal to 1000. And if they are to be equal, can you tell me the value of each? There are three terms whose product is equal to 1000. Okay? So what will be the minimum value of a plus b plus c? Can you answer this? 10 each. Why you are taking 10 each? How did you get to know 10 each? This 30 is the right answer. 10 each. We need to take the value of each of them as 10. So the answer is correct. It is 30. That's the right answer. But how did you get to know 10 each? Yes, that is called cube root. तो भाई मैं भी तो यहाँ पर यही बोला था. And then there were many questions. Why cube root? Why cube root? Is this fine? Basically, these three must be equal. That means all of them must be equal to cube root of this 1000. Exactly same way, here each of the three terms must be equal to cube root of this 9 by 8. Is it fine? Is it fine? So that's how this is equal to cube root of 9 by 8 plus cube root of 9 by 8 plus cube root of 9 by 8. That's how I said it must be 3 times cube root of 9 by 8. By the way, cube root of 8 is 2, so that can be taken out. So it becomes 3 by 2 times cube root of 9. So that is our answer for this question. Is it fine? By the way, as I said earlier also, in our exams, generally we get simple values, not in the cube root or something. But anyhow, we were just trying to understand the concept, how we are to apply the things. Is it okay? Okay, let's take this one. Now, Kavya is saying, sir, what if the question had asked minimum value of 3a plus b? Let's take this one also. This is the last one for now. What will be the minimum value of 3a plus b? We want to minimize this. Any suggestions? What should we do? See, a is single, a only, so a can be taken as it is. But b square I want, so I need to break this b in two parts. That is b by 2 each, isn't it? So basically 3a plus b minimum, that means I should break it as 3a plus b by 2 plus b by 2. That's the value which I want to minimize. Right? Yes, exactly, b by 2, b by 2. So now this product, is it constant or not? So we need to check that and how much it is. So this product is 3a into b by 2 into b by 2, which is this 3 by 4 into ab square. And this ab square is constant. We know it is 9 by 8. So it comes out to be 3 by 4 into 9 by 8. It is 27 by whatever it is, 32. Okay, na? And now because this product is constant, so this sum can be minimized. And to make this sum minimized, each the term must be equal to cube root of this. Fine. So the answer will be 3 times cube root of this. So answer will be 3 times cube root of 27 by 32. Again, this 27 cube root is 3. So it comes out to be 9, and 8 also we can take out. So cube root of 8 is 2. So 9 by 2 times cube root of 4. So that becomes the simplified answer. Fine. Okay, so we have taken enough examples, so I hope this must be clear to everyone. So how to go about this AMGM inequality part and how to use this maxima minima. If sum is constant, then product can be maximized, and if product is constant, then sum can be minimized. Okay, let's move further now. Here's one simple question. It's exactly cat-like question. So please answer this. There's no theory part to this. It is just commonsensical question. We are given with the range of x. X varies from -7 to 10, inclusive of boundary values. Same way, y varies from -12 to 12. Find the maximum and minimum value of. These are not the options. These are the questions. First part. Let me make a table. Here only. Let's make a table here only. So maximum and minimum. Answer to the first part. Maximum value of x plus y. Maximum value of x plus y. I'm looking at the answers. Maximum value of x plus y 22. Varsha says. Shubham also says. Aditya minimum bata rahe hain -19. Okay, for maximum what we need to do? Of course 10 plus 12. So 22 is the right value. I hope everyone agrees with that. And for minimum value, we need to take the minimum value of x and y. -7 minus 12 makes it -19. There should not be any doubt about this. Second part, x minus y. First tell me the maximum value. Maximum value of x minus y. Maximum value of x minus y. Maximum value of x minus y. It's again 22. Yes. See, to maximize x minus y, what we should do? X should be large and y should be small, right? The gap will be maximized. So x should be large, that is 10, and y should be minimum, that is -12. So 10 minus -12, that makes it again 22. And what would be the minimum value? What would be the minimum value? So to minimize, x should be small and y should be large this time. X should be small and y should be large, right? So y should be large, so y can be taken as 12. So -7 minus 12, that is again -19. Okay, we are on the third part now. X into y, product of x and y. What will be the maximum value for this? Product of x and y, maximum value. Of course, both x and y should be maximum, 10 and 12. That makes it 120. Fine. Minimum value. Minimum value of xy. Now that is tricky part. How to do this minimum value of xy? 84. Is it minimum? Think again. Can't we make the minimum value negative? This is Gaurav Thakur says -120. Good. -120 is smaller than -84. Tanishq. -84 से छोटा है -120, isn't it? So minus 120 is the right value, right answer here. And how we got this? Of course, we can take y as minus 12 and y x we can take as 10. That makes it minus 120. So basically, to minimize the product, the best thing is make the product negative with the largest magnitude. So this minus 12 and 10 will satisfy. है ना? Okay, coming to the last part, maximum value of x by y, x upon y, maximum value. Yes, it can be infinity. Maximum value of x by y, it can be infinity. See, to maximize this x upon y, what we should do? Of course, we should try to make it positive, not negative, of course. And x should be as large as possible, that is 10. And y, numerical value of y should be small, but not negative. So magnitude should be small. So magnitude of y can be 0. So that will make it up to infinitely large values. And same way, what about the minimum value? That will go up to negative of infinity. That is also infinite. Because this time again, we can check the denominator to be 0 and the numerator can become negative this time. So that will go up to negative infinity. Fine. Okay. In this last part, let's avoid 0. Let's say x and y, none of them is equal to 0. For the last part we are talking about. What will be the answers then? If we are removing this part, I'm taking x and y, none of them is 0. Now what can be the answers? Yeah, let me specify. Let me specify x and y are integers and none of them is 0. None of them is 0. X and y are integers only. X and y are integers and none of them is 0. So x by y, maximum value. Maximum value of x upon y. Yes, it will be 10 upon 1. Right, 10 upon 1. So 10 is the maximum value in that case. And minimum value? Minimum value? Minus 7, some of you says minimum minus 7. उससे कम नहीं हो सकता क्या? What about minus 10? What about minus 10? Maximum 12 कैसे होगा? We want to have the value of x by y ना? Aditya? For x by y, x maximum can be 10 only. And y you can take as 1. Now minimum value. Yes, minimum value can be minus 10 now. Again, we can take x as 10 and y we can take as minus 1. So numerically, the denominator should be small. So minus 10 is the minimum value. All of the values which you are saying, they are also possible. But we want to minimize it. Minus 7 by 12 se chota hai na, minus 10. Somebody is saying minus 12 also. How we can get minus 12? Is it possible to get minus 12 for x by y? Not possible. Minus 12 is not possible. Fine. So basically, CAT has asked this type of question repeatedly, various times. And right now we have made the entire table. CAT asks only about one particular case at a time. Okay, so minimum value possible here in this last case would be minus 10 if you are taking them to be integers, non-zero. Okay. Hi, this is a CAT question, CAT type question, not exactly CAT question, but this is a CAT type question. CAT has asked these questions. Rahul is asking last D point. Last D point may what we have done. If we are able to take x and y 0, in that case we have already got the answer infinity and minus infinity. But if we are taking them to be non-zero, in that case, this first part, the maximum value of x would be obtained, x by y would be there when x is 10 and y we take as 1. Because the moment x we has maximized already 10, okay? So denominator must be as small as possible numerically. So if I'm going to change the value from 1, if I will increase it to 3, 4, so this is going to become smaller. And if I take it to be negative, then the value will become negative. So this 10 by 1, which is 10, that is the maximum value. Similarly, for the minimum value, what we can do, so what I'm doing, I'm not taking the minimum value of x. Let x be maximum, 10 only. So now y's denominator should be, this denominator should be as small as possible. But again, numerically, so we would better to take it negative. And this time I can take it as minus 1. So that will give me minus 10. If I take any other values, that is going to be a greater number than minus 10. Highest infinity value, but we have already done that. If you are allowed to take 0 as per the actual question, so these are the answers. But we just modify the question non-zero for non-zero values. That's how we got these values as well. Okay, let's move further now. So let's move to today's topic, the new part which we are going to cover today, that is modulus. So modulus is a type of function. Modulus is a type of function normally denoted by these two vertical lines. And inside these two vertical lines, we can have a number, we can have an algebraic expression, and we need to solve it. Okay, I'm coming to the next topic now, modulus. So if I put this 5 here, so in modulus, in short, we call it mod. So mod 5. So what is the value of mod 5? We have done this in class 11th, I guess. Those who have taken mathematics in class 11th, 10 plus 1. So there you have done this. Up to 10th level, it was not there. So this modulus of 5 is equal to 5. It will remain as it is. But if I talk about modulus of minus 5, how much it will be? Modulus of minus 5. That is also equal to plus 5. Yes. So basically, this modulus is a very positive topic. It makes all the negative terms also positive, right? So that's why modulus means be positive. And modulus means be positive. So whatever negativity might be there in your mind, always make it positive. हाँ, किसी ने बोला दो डंडे वाला अलजेब्रा, दो लाइन वाला अलजेब्रा, है ना? So remain between the two limits, है ना? Remain in the two limits. Don't stretch here or there. Then you can become positive in your life. So this modulus gives us the magnitude, or it is also known as absolute value function. It is also known as absolute value function. Absolute value. So it's talking only about the value. So we are leaving this negative sign here. ठीक है? हाँ, yes Aditya, that's what I said. Can modulus make people positive? I don't know about modulus, but वो दो डंडे पड़ने पे आदमी positive हो जाता है, maybe. Anyway, coming back to this part. So this whether it is positive or negative part inside, the result is always positive. That is the thing. Result is always positive. Fine. This result is always positive. Let's take another example. If I give the value, say, what about 0? Mod of 0? It will remain 0 only. So 0 is neither positive nor negative. It will remain 0 only. So, okay, that is a very basic part. So now, let's take another example. 2 minus mod 1 minus 3 mod. Okay, what will be this answer? Can you answer this? This is modulus of mod of 2 minus 1 mod minus 3. What is the answer? Yes, it is 2. That's correct. Good. It's just like solving normal equation, right? Solving normal equation using that Modulus or something. So this mod 1 is 1 only, so it becomes 2 minus 1, right? And this was minus 3, and whole portion is in modulus. This 2 minus 1 is 1 only, so 1 mod will remain 1, so 1 minus 3 mod. And this 1 minus 3, you know, it is minus 2, and mod of minus 2 will be 2. So 2 is the right answer. Fine, I hope. So that's the basic warm-up for this modulus part. So what is modulus? We have understood. Is it fine with everyone? I'm sure all of you are clear with modulus now. What is the meaning of modulus? So modulus means it makes the term positive. It makes the term positive. So if there is a positive expression inside, it will remain as it is. If a negative expression is inside the modulus, it will turn out to be positive. Okay. Now, what about an algebraic expression inside? If it is mod of x, now what it will be? If it is mod of x. हाँ, exactly, Pritam. Good point. अभी यही बात करने वाले हैं. So far we have learned that modulus makes the terms positive. So now it is, if mod x is there, so what it will be? It will be, if I remove this modulus sign, will it be plus x or minus x? So yes, those who have studied this modulus function earlier in class 11, so they know that. So this is equal to x, or this can be equal to minus x also. So that's why I'm writing plus minus x. But when it is x, when it is minus x, there are some conditions also, we should not miss that. So if this x is positive, it will remain x only. But if this x is negative, then it is going to be less than x, minus x. That's how Pritam was suggesting. So we need to put minus sign to make it positive. Now understand carefully. If this x is negative, as we have taken the example of minus 2 mod. So if it is minus 2 mod, so how it is becoming positive? It is becoming, to make this negative to positive, I need to multiply with a negative sign. So it actually becomes negative times minus 2, which makes it plus 2. That's what we have written here. So don't be confused by this part. Negative kaise ban gaya? Still we were talking about that it gives always positive value, and now we are writing it is plus x or minus x. It depends on the value of x. If x is positive, if x is greater than 0, that means x is positive, it remains x only. But if x is negative, now to make it positive, we need to multiply it with the negative sign. Here's the example. So it is minus 2. So to make this minus 2 positive, I need to multiply it with the negative sign, so that it becomes positive. So that's how it depends on the value of x. That's perfectly right. It depends upon the value of this expression. Understood? So that is the whole important part in today's topic of modulus. So whenever you are going to solve questions based on modulus, we may not be having only numbers inside this modulus. We may be having an algebraic expression inside, and that algebraic expression, we are not clear, we are not sure whether it is positive or not. So whenever we will remove this modulus sign, and so we will write the expression as maybe with positive sign or maybe with negative sign. And at many times we make the cases also. Okay? So now for example, I hope this point is clear. I'm taking further now. If it is given that, if I say modulus of x equals to 2, can you figure out what can be the value of x? What can be the value of x? Vihana says when to take mod equals to 0. If there is 0 inside modulus sign, it will be 0 only, no? Yes, that's the correct answer. It's plus minus 2. Yes, 2 or minus 2. Good. So if mod x is 2, then x can be 2 or minus 2, as I said earlier. So whenever we are going to remove this modulus sign, we have to put plus minus sign. So x is going to be plus 2 or minus 2. Because if it is modulus of positive 2, that will remain 2. If it is modulus of minus 2, that will also remain 2. So there are two possible values. So whenever we are going to solve an expression like this, so we need to expand it in two ways. We can make these two cases. Okay? Okay, next one now. If I ask you modulus of x minus 1 equals to 2. Now solve this. Now how can we find the answer? How many cases will be formed now? Just tell me that. How many cases will be there? There will be two cases, right? There will be two cases. And what will be the two values? I can see one answer by Riti. Different answers I'm getting. Zainab is getting something else. Acha, 1 by 3, that was 1 or 3. Okay. Some of you are saying 1 or 3, some of you are saying -1 or 3. Please recheck, not both answers can be correct. So there would be two cases, that's obvious. So if I'm going to remove this mod, so I'm going to say x minus 1 equals 2 or x minus 1 equals -2, right? This inside this modulus term, it would be either 2 or it would be -2. So these are the two particular cases, that's what we need to solve. So this x will be equal to, in this case, 2 plus 1, that is 3, that is one possible answer. And from here we will get x equals -2 plus 1, that is -1. So -1 is correct right here. So -1 and 3, that's right. ठीक है ना? Is it fine so far? Chirag, IIMs will watch you also. Why don't you study? Don't waste time here. Okay, so this was a very basic part and that's how we solved. Is there any other way we can think about this? Is there any other way we can think about this other than making two equations and then solving? Although it is not difficult, these are two linear equations only and we can solve it easily, no difficulty part. Is there any other way? Can you think of something else? Exactly, Aditya, distance. Graph also, right. So we are going to discuss about graph also today. Right, okay, yes, number line. See now, this x minus 1 mod equals to 2, and I think you have seen those non-engineering videos. So there we have described about the number line, or basically distance, taking it as a distance from 2 points. Right, see on the number line, I'm going to explain it again, that distance part. So this x minus 1 mod is 2, so this x minus 1 mod tells the distance between 2 points x and 1 on the number line. Okay, so number line pe x and 1 ke beech ka distance. So if it is 1, 2, 3, 4 and so on, and on the left hand side we'll be having 0, -1, -2 and so on. So this is our number line. So this x minus 1, all these points basically, the numbers which are mentioned here, they just tell the distance of that particular point from 0. For example, this 4 means it is this point is at a distance of 4 units from 0 or origin, right? That is the meaning of this 4. Same way 3 means the distance of this point from this 0 point is 3. Okay, na? Same way on the negative side also, the distance is 1. The negative sign only tells us about the direction. Okay? Now in this case, this is x minus 1, the distance between the 2 points x and 1. So 1 ka distance jo hai, this distance is 1, and x may be on either side. Suppose x is somewhere here, this is somewhere x, let's say. So this distance would be x. So when we are saying x minus 1, so that means the distance between these 2 points, this 1 and x, the distance between these 2 points would be x minus 1. Right, and that x minus 1 distance that is given is 2. That means this point x must lie at a distance of 2 units from this point 1. So 1 से 2 आगे या 2 पीछे. So 2 ahead of 1 is 3 and 2 before 1 is -1. So -1 and 3 are the two possible values. Fine. And this distance function is going to be very interesting if you understand it carefully. So this x minus 1 mod, let me write it again. So this is the distance between x and 1. Distance between x and 1 on the number line. So position of 1 is fixed on the number line. Now x can be on either side of this 1, and what is given is that distance between these 2 points is 2. That means x lies at a distance of 2 units from 1 on either side. So that's how we are going to get two cases. Yes, I'm repeating, don't worry. Many of you have understood, good. And this is, I think, covered. I have covered all these things in your non-engineering videos also. So let me take one more example. What is next slide here? Okay, next is talking about graphs. Let's delete here only. Okay, let me take one more example. If it is given that x minus 2 mod equals 3. Now both methods you have, you can solve equations, that is one of the ways. Other method is using this distance formula, distance method, or number line method you can say. So quickly tell me the answer. First quickly tell me the answer. You just need to type your answer now if you have understood the distance method. Okay, Varsha, Harsh, they have come up with the answer. -5 and 1. Others says 5 and -1. Please recheck your answers. There can't be different answer, no? -5 1 या 5 -1. It is 5 -1. Yes, 5 -1 is right. See, now what is the meaning of this part? The distance between x and 2 equals to 3. So on the number line, if you are having 2, the position of 2 is fixed. X, where does it lie? I'm not sure, but position of 2 is fixed. And what do I know about x? The distance between x and 2 is 3. So x lies at a distance of 3 units from this point 2. So we say 3 in the forward direction or 3 in the backward direction. Right? So 3 पीछे जाएंगे. So if I go 3 in the backward direction, so I will go up to -1. And if I move 3 in the positive direction, then I will be reaching up to 5. So 5 and -1 is the right answer. Okay? Oh yes, we can solve equation as well. So we will write x minus 2 equals 3, or we will say x minus 2 equals -3. Right? That's how we can expand. We can remove this modular sign. So x minus 2 equals to 3. That means x is equal to 3 plus 2, which is 5. And in this way, x minus 2 equals -3. That means x equal to -3 plus 2, which is -1. So 5 or -1, these are the answers. So we can make equations, two cases, or we can go by the distance method or number line method. Fine. Okay, so we have just got this idea and we will further extend it later. So let's move further now. Till this point, it is clear to everyone? If there's any doubt till this point, please ask me, because we are going to use all these things in the further part. Clear? Good. I can still see unnecessary comments in between. Okay, nice. So most of you, many of you are with me, you are following it. Good. Okay, let's move further now. So some of you were talking about the graph also. Let's deal with graph here only. Let's deal with the graph here only in the next part. In the next part. The modulus graphs here. So what are the types of modulus graphs here? So basically in modulus graphs, there are some type of graphs on which questions have been asked in CAT, and some other types of graphs we will be seeing on the screen just in a while, which will be just for our understanding. 45 slope key degree straight lines in the first and second quadrant. Good. Yes, that's true, love, Krishna. So modulus graph, if I say y equals mod of x, so by expanding this modulus part, we are going to get two equations, two linear equations, right? There will be two linear equations. Acha, that graph was blocked, so I think you will be getting it. That will be there. Anyway, so let's quickly revise it. Let's quickly do this. Y is mod x. It means there are two equations. What are the two equations? Y equal to x or y equals to minus x. Is it not? We have just discussed that. So if y is equal to mod x, if you want to draw this graph, so y is going to be equal to x and y is going to be equal to minus x. These are the two cases possible. Okay, can you tell me if when y is going to be equal to x and when y is going to be equal to minus x? Y x ke equal kab banega? When we are writing this modulus x as x, what was the condition? Yes, when x is positive. When x is positive. See, we had already discussed that. Modulus x is equal to x when x is positive, and it is equal to negative of x if x is negative. So x positive ke liye, if x is positive. And this is the case when x is negative. Acha, what about y? Y is going to be positive or negative? Is y is going to be positive or negative? What about this y? Y is going to be positive or negative in this case? Y is always positive. Because y is modulus of something, y cannot be negative. Y may be 0 but can never be negative. So y is certainly greater than 0, equal to 0. Equality I can put anywhere. No issues. Y is always greater than equal to 0. Right? Now is the important part. So if I see the four quadrants, so this is called first quadrant, second quadrant, third quadrant, fourth quadrant. You know that this is x-axis, this is positive direction of x-axis, and this is the negative x dash I can write. This is the negative part. Same way, this is positive y-axis and this is the negative direction of y-axis. So in this first quadrant, both x and y are positive. Here y is still positive but x becomes negative. And in this quadrant, so x is negative and y is also negative. And in this fourth quadrant, we have x positive but y negative. So now our graph, we are having two equations. So x greater than 0, y greater than 0. That means first quadrant. So in first quadrant, the graph behaves like y equals to x. That means if I take x equals 1, y also equal 1. x2 to y also 2. x3 to y also 3. So that becomes a straight line like this. Right? And that is only for the first quadrant. It is not to be extended further. See, agar ye condition nahi hoti, if this condition had not been there, then y equals to x is a straight line passing through this origin. And I'm moving to up to third quadrant also. But because y is positive only, y doesn't become negative. So this is the line shown by this graph. Similarly, when x is less than 0, y greater than 0, that means second quadrant. X is negative, but y is positive. Second quadrant. In this graph now, in this quadrant now, the equation is y equals minus x. Yani ki, if I take x to be minus 1, then y becomes 1. Right? If I take x to be minus 2, then y becomes minus 2. And so on. So it is exactly replica, or it is a mirror image of this first quadrant graph. So that's how it becomes V-shape, as many of you wrote already. So it's a V-shaped graph, and the angle is going to be 90 degree. Right? The angle between these two is going to be 90 degree. Is it fine? And it is symmetrical about this y-axis. It is symmetrical about this y-axis. Is this whole situation clear? How we have got this graph? You can remember it always, because at many places we are going to get this. You can remember it, there is no issue. But why it is so, why it is not extended to the third and fourth quadrant also, there is small basic technicalities we must understand. I hope this is clear, that why it is not extended to third and fourth quadrant, because y is positive only. Okay, now this point, this bottom point, this is called vertex of the graph. This is called vertex of the graph. And what are the coordinates of this vertex here? What are the coordinates? In this case, it is 0, 0. Right? This is 0, 0. So other than that, we are having this symmetrical graph. It's a mirror image graph. Yes, I'm going to take the variations now, Aditya. So this is a very basic part. Now I'm changing the graph. This was the first part. Now let's talk about the second part. If I say it is y equals to mod of x minus 1, let's say. Now what will happen? So y is equal to mod of x minus 1. First tell me, graph will be in which quadrant? First, second quadrant, third, fourth quadrant also. It will be in first, second quadrant only, because y is always going to be positive. Right? Y is always going to be positive. Yes, vertex will be changed. Vertex will shift. Vertex will shift. So vertex is that point at which the term inside the modulus becomes 0. Basically, we can say the term inside the modulus becomes 0. Okay, na? So vertex is that point in which the term inside the modulus becomes 0. So it is going to be 0 when x equals to 1, and when x equals to 1, y comes out to be 0. So this time the vertex would be 1 comma 0. So 1 comma 0. So graph will shift one step in the positive direction of x-axis. Positive direction, not left side, right side. The graph will shift to the right side. Why left, Aditya Goel? Right side. 1 comma 0 will be the vertex, na? Is it fine? Let's check the values. So by putting x equals to 1, we are getting the value 0. Okay? If you put x equals to 2, what will you get? If you put x equals to 2, so 2 minus 1 will be 1, so we will get the value 1. So at x equals to 2, you will get the value 1. And also if you go one step before this, that is 0, if you put x equals 0, then you will get mod of minus 1, which is again 1. Okay? That confirms. So we are getting the same values now. So the graph will be like this. It will shift on the right side by 1 unit. Fine? Yes. So the third point, third example, if we take y equals x plus 2, tell me the vertex. Tell me the vertex. Y is x plus 2 mod. What will be the vertex now? Yes, minus 2 comma 0. Excellent. So the vertex will be minus 2 comma 0. That means this graph will shift here somewhere like this. So this is minus 2 comma 0. That will be the vertex. The shape is same. There's no change in that. Excellent. Excellent. Till this point, I hope it is fine. Okay, one more part. If I give you y equals x plus 1 mod minus 3. Now tell me what will happen. What will be the vertex now? What will be the vertex now? X plus 1 mod minus 3. Yes, that's correct. Vanchika. See, I told you what is that vertex? Vertex is that value of x where this modulus part becomes 0. So if I put x equals minus 1, this term will become 0, right? So x coordinate will be minus 1. And what is the value of y at that time? It is minus 3. So that means one step on the left hand side and then 3 steps in this third quadrant, downside. So that will be the graph. Something like this. So it becomes minus 1, minus 3. That is the vertex. How? Let's again check the values. If I put x equals minus 1, you are going to get value of y as minus 3. Fine. If you are going to put x equals minus 1, y is going to be minus 3. So that is this vertex. Yes, now this time it is going to the negative quadrant also. So this is the vertex. Now from this minus 1, if I change the value of x to be 0, let's say move one step towards right. So if I take x to be 0, so it becomes 1 minus 3, that is minus 2. So this point would be minus 2. And if I go one step on the left side, that is put x equals to minus 2. So minus 2 plus 1 will be minus 1. Minus 1 come out will be 1. And 1 minus 3 is again minus 2. So that will be the same value. Confirm? So that's how we can find the values. So let me repeat whole thing. If in general I say y equals mod of x minus h plus k. So what will be the vertex of this graph? Aditya wished y 2 0. You're talking about the earlier case, so fourth part I guess. Here it was minus 2 0. And that's correct, Kavya. Yes, h comma k is the right answer. So here this modulus value will become 0 at x equals to h. So x equal to h is that vertex point, and at that point y is going to be k. So h comma k is the vertex point. Positive, not negative, Tanishq. At x equals to h, this is going to be 0, not x equals to minus h. So h comma k is the right value. Okay, I hope all of you have understood how to make the graph and how to understand the graph. And as some of you were asking, in the CATs, what type of questions are being asked in this category? Some graph is given to you, then it is said that it is reflected in x-axis or it is reflected in y-axis, it is shifted in that direction or that direction. So that's how we need to make the equations. So if we understand this part, how it is happening, then it's not a difficult thing. Okay? So that will solve, that will discuss while solving questions. But I'm sure this graphical part is clear to everyone. Is this fine? Should we move forward now? So far we have seen what is the meaning of modulus. What is the meaning of modulus function? How to expand the modulus function means how to remove those two vertical lines. So when we are removing that modulus sign, so we make always two cases, positive or negative, depending upon the inside term was positive or negative. We are not clear about that because it is an expression. So we need to make two cases. And when it was a number, then we were clear about that directly. And then we discussed how to treat that modulus as a distance function on the number line. So that's how we solve question. And right now we have just discussed about the various type of graphs based on this equation of this format. Y is equal to mod of x or y equal to mod of x minus 1 and so on. Okay, now there are some other things as well. Aditya Goel is asking something, y is equal to x plus 1 mod. That's a good thing. So there's no need to make graph of that, but we can draw it, but it's not required. Okay, we are going to use that, Aditya, in some of the questions. Okay, I think we should move forward now with this point. So what if there is sum of two parts, x plus 1 mod plus x minus 2 mod? Now, don't get fearful by seeing this graph. Is it visible? I don't know. It must be. Is it visible or not? Okay, it's visible, not properly. Anyway, I will draw it again. So let me open up another slide. So it is talking about x plus 1 mod and x minus 2 mod. It is sum of the two terms. Y equals to x plus 1 mod plus x minus 2 mod. Now these two terms are added together. Now how to solve it? I've decreased the brightness already, but because it is immediate transition from black to white background, that's how. Anyway, I used too much white it was. I understand. How GeoGebra का graph exactly, Aditya? I've reduced the brightness already, but because of the slight transition, that's how it appeared. Anyway, so it was the graph. It was the equation now there. So y equal to mod of x plus 1 plus mod of x minus 2. So these are basically two cases, right? So y is equal to x plus 1 mod, you can draw the graph easily. Y equal to mod of x minus 2, that also you can draw easily. But if it is combination of the two, then what to do? So that graph was shown there. That GeoGebra is a software, by the way, Bhagat. GeoGebra is a software. वो spelling गलत लिखा है उसने. But anyway, GeoGebra is a software to draw the graphs and solve equations mainly. Anyway, don't worry, Jafar, I'm doing it here. So if it is y is equal to mod of x plus 1 plus mod of x minus 2, now how to solve this type of question? First thing, let's understand that cat is not going to ask you to draw the graph of this. One thing, cat has never asked that. Never draw the graph of this. Okay? But drawing the graph makes it helpful to understand the questions. What can be the question? Question in this is, let's say, what is the minimum value of y? Let's say this is the question. Y minimum value. What can be a minimum value of y? See, if I ask individually, if y is equal to mod of x plus 1, then what is the minimum possible value of y? Can you answer? Y is mod of x plus 1 now, what can be minimum value of y? It is 0, it's simple thing. Same way, if y is equal to x minus 2 mod, then also minimum value is going to be 0. Hai na? But if it is sum of the two, what is the minimum value now? That's the question. So this type of question you are going to get in the exam. As I said earlier, cat is not going to ask you to draw the graph of it, but cat is going to ask you a question like this: what can be the minimum value of y, where x and y both are real numbers? So what is the minimum value now? How we can find? Gunjan, Aditya, this is 3. Some of you are still saying 0. Arey Baba, see, this was 0 if x is minus 1, right? And same way, this part was 0 when x is 2. So if you put x is equal to minus 1, then this term will be 0, but this won't be. If you put x equal to 2, then this will be 0, but this won't be. I think that's how both of you are, many of you are getting 3. But is this 3 minimum value? Is this 3 minimum value? I'm sure that you are not sure, right? So that is the objective now. So how to figure it out, that what is the minimum value? Okay, now let's try to understand. Now let's try. It can't be negative, Jitul. This is a positive value, this is a positive value. This sum can never be negative. So answer cannot be negative. That's for sure. Yes, exactly, Amitesh. We can take the critical points and then we can solve it. Okay, if I'm going to expand it, if I remove this modulus sign and if I expand it to make an equation, so how many cases would be there? How many cases would be formed? What do you think? How many cases would you form? If I remove this modulus sign, I want to make an equation, how many cases would you form? Okay, it looks like 4 cases, plus minus, plus minus. But this first modulus will be having 2 cases, plus or minus, same, this is also plus or minus, so there will be 4 combinations, it looks like. Actually, it is not 4. It is not 4. It is 3 cases. It is 3 cases. Plus minus, it looks like 4, but it is not 4 cases. Now see how it is. So somebody mentioned that take the critical point on number line. So I'm going back to take help of that number line. So number line, this is critical point. This critical point is minus 1. It is distance of x from the point minus 1, and this is from 2, right? So these are the 2 critical points on the number line. So there can be exactly 3 ranges in which x can lie. X can be more than 2, x can lie between these 2 critical points, and x can lie before this minus 1, right? So there are going to be 3 cases only. So if x is more than 2, then both of the terms are positive. If x is between 2 and minus 1, in that case, this x minus 2 will become negative, but this will become positive. And if x lies below this, then both the terms are negative. Okay, but still, should we make the 3 cases? We can make the 3 cases and we can make the graph as earlier. Okay, first let's understand that also, how to make the 3 graphs. How to make the graphs which was shown in the previous slide. Let's understand that also. See, let's take this, consider this as the first case, second case and third case. So in the first case, let me draw it here. In this first case, both the expressions are positive. Right? In this first case, when x is more than 2, so if x is more than 2, this term is going to be positive, it will remain x plus 1. This is also going to be positive because x is more than 2. It cannot be negative, it will also remain x minus 2. So y is going to remain x plus 1 plus x minus 2, which means it is 2x minus 1. Is this point clear? This is the first case. So in this range, the graphs behaves like this. Right? When x is 2 or more than 2, the graphs behave like this. Y equals to 2x minus 1. Now we can substitute the values and draw the equation. Fine. Okay, now let's consider second case. If I'm going for the second case, now x is greater than -1, right? We can substitute some values and check. X is greater than -1, let's take x equal to 0 maybe. So if x is 0, this value is going to be positive. It is never going to be negative, because at x equals to -1, this was supposed to be 0, and before that it should be having negative. But because x is more than -1, this is going to remain positive, non-zero. So it will remain x plus 1. But because x is less than 2, so this term will become negative, right? So while expanding this, removing this modulus sign, so I need to put a negative sign. So it will become 2 minus x in place of x. So it will become 2 minus x. So that is equal to the value of y. So on simplifying, we will get this x is cancelled, so y comes out to be 3. So this is the value here, y equals to 3. Fine, this is the second case. That means in this entire range, value of y is constant. It is going to be 3 always. ठीक है ना? And in this third situation, in third region, what we are going to get, both the terms will become negative because x is less than -1. So this term will also become negative and this term also become negative. That means while removing this modulus sign, I need to put the negative sign along with that. So y will be equal to negative x negative 1 and this will be negative x plus 2. That means y equals minus 2x plus 1. Which is exactly opposite sign that of the first equation. So these are the three cases. Now we can easily draw the graph. Let's say in the first scenario where we are starting from x equals to 2. So by putting x equal to 2, so 2 into 2, 4 minus 1, y equals to 3. So that is the starting point. Where y is equal to 3, right? If I move to the next point, let's take just one more point. So if I take x equals to 3, so at x equal to 3, so 3 into 2, 6 minus 1, 5. So y will become 5. It is going to increase value and it will remain a straight line because it is a linear equation, right? And in this range, in the second region, y was constant 3. This value was 3. So it will remain 3. It will look like this. ठीक है ना? And before this, y is minus 2x plus 1. So if I'm going to put the value of y as minus 1, I'm going to get the same value. Minus 1 put करने पे देखो. If I put minus 1, so minus 2 into minus 1 is 2. 2 plus 1, 3. So at this point it is 3 only. But if I go before that, let's say x equal to 0. So the value of y comes out to be how much? 1. There's a mistake. If I put x equals to, so not 0. Before that, that means minus 2. If I put x equals minus 2, so minus 2 into minus 2 is 4. 4 plus 1, 5. Same as we got here also. X equal to minus 2 pe, y comes out to be 5. So and this is also a straight line, it will also continue to increase. So this is the graph which was shown on the previous slide. So that's how we can make the graph. And as our question was asking about the minimum value of y, we can see that whenever x lies in this range minus 1 to 2, any value of x we are having, so the value of y is going to be minimum, that is 3. And there's no upper limit. It can be extended to as high as possible. Fine. So that's how we have just tried how to make the graph. Anyway, as I said earlier, CAT will not ask us to make the graph, and it is not required also. But just for our understanding, we have understood that don't consider that plus minus 4 cases. It is not because of the critical points minus 1 and 2. We got the 3 regions 1, 2, and 3, and accordingly 3 cases would be there. And in those 3 cases, we are going to get linear equations only. So it was a constant value here. It's a linear equation here, linear equation here. So by graph, it is clearly visible that in this range we are having a minimum value. ठीक है? Okay. Now don't worry, don't be complicated, don't feel complex or complicated because of too many equations, graph and all. Don't worry, I said you that this is going to be more and more mathematical, but we are going to make it easy. Now remove this part, it is not required, it's not required. Let's consider that same distance approach. I'm going by the distance approach. No need to make the graph, just go for that distance approach. You know that this is distance between the 2 points x and minus 1, right? I'm repeating whole thing, but by using this distance approach, and by using this distance approach we can make the graph also. There is no issue. There is no issue. Now, please be very focused here. We are going to understand very important thing, and all further things will become very easy then. Please understand carefully. I'm using this distance approach now. So, because of this distance approach, I know that this mod of x plus 1 is the distance between minus 1 and x. Same way, it shows the distance between the point 2 and x. So, basically, these are the two critical points on number line, that is minus 1 and 2. And x can be in either of these 3 regions. X can be in either of these 3 regions, more than 2, between minus 1 and 2, or maybe less than minus 1. Shruti says, why can't we make combinations of these? Then there will be many cases. We have made combinations. We have made the equations only. There are 3 cases. So, but I'm saying that rather than getting fixed in this algebraical part, although it is a linear equation, that's not a very difficult thing. But now we are going to make it further simpler by using this distance approach. Now be focused here. So this is sum of the distances of x from minus 1 and 2. Till this point it is fine. Okay. Now there are 3 cases possible. As I said, x can lie in this first region or second or third. Okay. Just consider it like that. These are the 2 friends. There are 2 friends who live at these 2 particular milestones. One person lives at this point minus 1, the other person looks at this milestone 2. Now, at this point, if both of them are to reach at this point, so what is going to be the distance? What is the distance between these 2 points? It is 3, right? Distance between these two points is 3. Is it fine? So, if both of the friends are to be together at this place, so the person who is staying here, that person needs to go here. So he needs to travel a distance of 3 units. So if that means if x lies here, so distance of x from this point is 0, but distance of x from this point is 3. So the total distance becomes 3. That means the value of the expression becomes 3 at this point. right? Simple thing. You can just find this value by putting x equal to 2 also, put x equal to 2, you will get 3, right? That's the same thing. So what I'm considering now, I'm taking it as a distance function. So these are the two places where the two friends live. So if they are to meet at the place of this friend, so this person need not to move, and this person is moving a distance of 3 units. So total distance traveled, that is 3. Fine. Okay. If they are to move further, let's say x is somewhere here. They have to meet somewhere here, and this point is at a distance of some units, maybe something a. So this person needs to travel a distance of a, isn't it? And this person needs to travel a distance of 3 plus a. Are you getting it? Please try to understand. This is a very easy thing, and that will make things much simpler. So a, and this is 3 plus a. That means the total value here, it will become 3 plus 2a. And as this a will keep on increasing, the graph will increase, value will increase, right? If I'm moving one step further, the distance will increase by 2 points, as we did here. If I was moving one step further, the value was becoming 5. One more step, 2 more increase, like that. Exactly same thing is going to happen this side also. Exactly same thing is going to happen this side also, because if both the friends are to meet at this place, the value is going to be 3 only, because this person is living here only, and this friend is to come here, so he needs to travel a distance of 3 units, right? But if they are meeting somewhere else before this, if x goes in this range, so with every point, both of them need to travel same distance. So as I put a here, if I move b at this point, so b distance further, so this first person needs to travel a distance, extra distance b, and this person needs to travel a distance of 3 plus b. So sum of the distances will become 3 plus 2b. So same thing as we got here. So with every point, that sum of the distance travel will be increasing by 2 units. Find this point. Now, in between this range, that is the important region here. In between this range, if x lies somewhere here, this is the meeting point, let's say. They have to meet at this point. X is somewhere here. So the person, this first person needs to travel this much distance, and the other person needs to travel this distance. So how much is this distance and this distance? They can vary. But what is their sum? Their sum is always going to be constant, which is the distance between these 2 points, which we found in the beginning only, 3. Fine. So that is the whole thing. So the graph is what? Graph is like that only. In this range, it is 3, and further 1 unit further, increase of 2. 1 unit further, increase of 2. Same way, 1 unit further, increase of 2, and so on. So this is the shape of graph. Directly we can draw. No need to write the equations. No need to make different cases. Is it fine? Now, let me ask you another question. I hope this is clear to everyone. If I ask you a question, if it says, I'm writing it here. Question is, you have to find the values of x such that x plus 1 mod, I'm using the same part only, x plus 1 mod plus mod of x minus 2 equals 5. Find the values of x. This is the question now. Mod of x plus 1 plus mod of x minus 2 equals 5. Please find the values of x. Three and minus 2. Excellent. Aditya, Goel, Subhajit. Wonderful. We have just seen that. In this range from minus 1 to 2, the value was constant. So the moment I move one step further, the value is going to increase by 2. So we are asking the value 5 here only. So at x is equal to 3, value is going to be 3 plus 2, that is 5. Same way, one step on the left side of minus 1 and one step on the right side of 2. So 3 and minus 2, that's the right answer. We don't need to make equations always. Although we can expand and make equations and solve, that's also a way. But if we are looking, if we are able to see in the terms of distance, then it becomes very fast. Is it clear to everyone? Okay, if in place of 5, maybe if I say 15, can you answer now? In place of 5, I'm changing it to 15. Can you answer now? Excellent, Abhishek. Good. 8 and minus 7. That's correct. Try to solve it. Those who are getting any doubt, don't worry, I will explain again. Yes, 8 and minus 7, that's the correct answer. So that's what is required from this today's session, that you must be able to see you must be able to visualize the graphical approach. So in spite of going by the lengthy algebra, we can just look at it as a distance function and distance from the two critical points, and then how we are getting it. Okay, let me erase all this part and let's take up this question again. So our equation was x plus 1 mod plus x minus 2 mod equals 15. That was our question now, and we were to find the values of x. So what we did, we just draw the number line. We took the critical points, that is minus 1 and 2, and immediately we found that what are going to be the values of this expression at these two particular points only. You can find that value just by substituting this, or in terms of distance also you can see. So it is as good as there are two persons living at these 2 points. So if both of them are to meet at this person's place, so this person need not travel any distance, and this one needs to travel a distance of 3 units. So the total sum will become 3. And if they are to meet somewhere else prior to this, so with every unit distance on the left hand side, this total distance, the value of y will increase by 2, because this person also needs to travel that 1 unit distance, and this person also will need to travel that 1 unit extra distance, right? So if I move 1 step here, 1 unit here, so the value will increase by 2. So that means at -2 this value will become 5. At -3 here, this will become 7. At -4, again it will be increasing by 2, it will become 9, and so on. Right? That's a simple thing, simplest way to understand. And same way, between this range we have already seen. So if x lies anywhere between this, that means we have to meet anywhere between this. So both of these persons together, they will be traveling the same distance, equal to the distance between them only. So this value remains 3 here, the graph remains constant. And further, if they are to meet somewhere here ahead of 2, so with every step, every unit distance, so both persons need to travel that extra distance. That means at 3, if I look for, so this person needs to travel 1 unit distance, and this person will also need to travel extra distance. So there will be increase of 2. So at 3 it will become 5. And at 4, again it will be increasing by 2, it will become 7, and then at 5 it will be 9, and so on. So that was the basic idea we were using. So this was our graph, simplest way. And because the question is asking about 15, so the minimum value is 3. About 3 may, how much we need to increase to make it 15? We need to increase 12. So 12 means 2 distance at a time. That means 6 steps ahead of 2. So 2 says 6 aage. That means 2 plus 6 equals 8. That is one particular value of x. And same way on this left hand side also, from 3 to 5, 7 to 2 distance is increasing when we move one step here. So from in 3 we need to increase 12. So again 6 steps on the left hand side. That means -1, -6, which means -7. 6 steps on the left side of -1, that makes it -7. So -7 and 8 are the 2 required values here. Fine, but that was the question which we were just discussing. Is it okay? That's a good question, Anurag. Anurag asking, what if it is a negative sign in between? Then also we can draw the graph and accordingly we can solve. Fine, so this is the whole thing which we had just discussed in the previous last some 15, 20, 30 minutes. We have just summarized all the things. That is the thing we were discussing. Now, thanks Anurag, Suhag, to take me further. What if there's a negative sign in between? Then also we can use the distance approach. Okay, is it clear so far? Okay, let me move further now. Okay, so this was the graph which we just discussed. Same way, this is the now negative part. X plus 2 minus x minus 2. Let me write it here. X plus 2 minus x minus 2. Can you try to figure out what will be the shape of the graph? See? Try to figure out what will be the shape of the graph. Karthik, there are 2 parameters now. There are 2 persons. Both of them have to travel 1 extra distance. The meeting point, see, let's say Karthik, we two are together at your place, and we have to shift our meeting place by 1 kilometer. Both of us need to travel 1 kilometer. So the total distance traveled will be 2 kilometers. With every unit shift, there will be increase of 2 units. That's how. Okay, so now this is x plus 2 minus x minus 2. So the critical points here are -2 and +2. Right? Critical points are -2 and +2. Till this point it is fine. Right, so critical points are -2 and +2. So this time it is a difference between the distances. So again we can go by the same approach. These are the 3 regions in which x can lie. X can be more than 2. X can lie between these 2 critical values. X can be less than -2. Okay? Let's first talk about if x is more than 2. If x is more than 2, see, if x is more than 2, so how much distance this person needs to travel? Let's say this distance is a. So this distance to be traveled is a only, and the distance to be traveled by the person at this point will be how much? This distance is 4 plus a. Is it not? I'm just talking about in terms of distance function. So this is a and this is 4 plus a. Fine, so these are the 2 persons staying at these 2 places, and x lies somewhere here. So there they need to meet, or whatever the situation. So distance between these 2 points is, if it is a, then this distance is 4 plus a. But this time we are not supposed to add the distances. This time distance from the point x, -2, from this distance I need to subtract this distance. So 4 plus a minus a, what will be the value? So 4 plus a minus a, that will be 4. That means in this region, the value of the expression is going to remain 4 always. Value is going to be 4 always, whatever be the value of a. If a is 0 or 1, 2, 3, whatever it is, so that value is going to remain constant. That means graph of this expression will be a straight line, y equals to 4, when x is 2 or more than 2. This one. See, the graph will be like this. Is it fine? Same way, if we will check in this range, if this distance is b, then that becomes 4 plus b. Okay, na? And again we need to subtract this distance 4 plus b from b. So b minus 4 minus b, that will be -4. So in this range the value is going to remain constant. It is -4. So graph will be something like this. This is -4, y equals -4, and it will remain constant like this. And what about this in between range? Just join the 2. That's it. That is the shape of the graph. That is the shape of the graph. Because in between also it is going to remain a straight line only. It's a linear equation. It is not going to be curvilinear or something. It will not be curved. It will be a straight line. It's a linear equation. Fine. So this is the final shape of the graph. Now whatever be the question. So as per the question, we can easily answer all the things. Is it fine? Good. Okay, let's quickly move to solve some questions now. We have understood the basic part now. I exactly love Krishna because of its symmetry. It is clearly visible. It will pass through 0, 0. It will pass through 0, 0. Pritam bhai, I have just used the distance approach. These are the two persons staying at these 2 points. So we are having 3 regions. X can lie ahead of 2, between 2 and minus 2, before 2. If it is about, it is beyond 2, then let it be at a distance of a. So this distance between x and 2 is a, and distance between x and minus 2 is 4 plus a. This time we are not supposed to add the distances because it is difference of the distances, difference between the distances. So distance of x from the point minus 2, it is 4 plus a, and this distance is a. So 4 plus a minus a gives you value 4. It is free from a. It is a constant value. So the graph is a straight line parallel to x-axis. Same way here also, it is minus 4, and in between it will be a straight line joining them. Yes, that's what I'm saying. Why to make equations always? But if you wish to make, that can be done. But that's not required always. That is the basic idea. अरे इसी का ग्राफ तो बनाया ना. Anurag is asking one more now. X plus 2 minus x plus 3. Okay, x plus 2. Okay, can you try x plus 2 minus x minus 3 mod? What are the critical points? Let's try to draw the graph. Critical points are minus 2 and 3. Fine, it is minus 2 and 3. Okay, at this point, what is going to be the value? At this point, let's simplify the same way as we were doing there. Yeah, maybe let's start from here only. If both of the what should I say? Okay, let's take x to be here, a distance of a units. So this distance is a, and then this distance is how much? 5 plus a, right? So 5 plus a minus a, that distance becomes 5 here. Again, it is free from a. Again, it is free from a. So यही graph बनेगा. ये 5 value आई. This time this is 5. And same way here, if I see this distance is b units. So this is b, and this is same 5 plus b, and b minus 5 minus b, that means minus 5. So same ही graph है ना? But this time it may not pass through 0, 0. Right? This time it will not pass through 0, 0. Yes, 5 is the constant value now. Fine. आपने प्लस बोला था यार, प्लस का कर लो यार. How does it going to make difference? प्लस का बना लो. Same way you will get a plus value also. Anurag is saying x plus 2 mod minus x plus 3 mod. So how is going to make much difference? ये minus minus का बना दिया, plus का बना लो, ऐसे ही वो बन जाएगा. There is not going to be much difficulty there. Okay, let's move further now. So we have taken the idea of what type of graphs are there and what type of questions we are going to get. Now, what about if there are 3 terms? What about if there are 3 terms? Let's discuss about that also. If it is x minus 1 mod plus x mod plus x plus 1 mod. If this is y, can you find the y minimum? Please everyone try to answer this. What is going to be the y minimum? Riya, at that time you were just drawing the graph. Manya Singh, it will pass through 0, 0 or not, that we understood from the symmetry of the graph. So in the first question, which was the original one, it was passing through, because but in the last question as given by Anurag, it was not symmetrical, that's how it is not. Now, x minus 1, x and x plus 1. Now there are 3 critical points. So the critical points on number line are this minus 1, 0 and 1. Fine. So as we did earlier, exactly same way, let's do it. So if all 3 of them are to reach at this point, that would be the easiest approach. If all 3 persons, the persons living here, they are to reach at the place of this last person here. So how much distance is there to travel? This person needs to travel a distance of 2 units, and this person needs to travel a distance of 1 unit. So 2 plus 1, 3, and this person is here only, so the value will be 3 here. Okay, value of the expression would be 3 here. I'm not still sure about negative or positive or minimum or maximum. Right now I'm just finding the distance. So this is 3. Okay? And if I move further, so with every 1 unit moving further, all 3 persons will need to travel 1 unit distance, isn't it? So अगर मैं इसे 1 step आगे जाता हूँ, so the value is going to increase by 3. It will become 6, then 9, and so on. So graph will go something like this. And exactly same thing is going to happen here also. So if everyone is to reach here, so 1 plus 2, that is total distance traveled will be 3. And again, if I move 1 step ahead, so it will be increasing always. So 6 and 9 and so on, like this. Now what happens in between? Let's see. Is it constant? No, it is not necessary. Let's make everyone assemble at this middle person's place. So this is distance 1 and this is 1. So total distance that will be 2 only. And in between that, this is going to be straight line like this. So this is the shape of the graph. And of course, the minimum value is 2. हाँ, बिल्कुल सही बात है. Answer is 2 here. The minimum value which I was asking, that minimum value is 2. That answer is correct. Most of you got that. But I'm just trying to make you understand how to draw the graph, how to understand the situation. There are 3 critical points. And acha, ye 3 distance क्यों increase? That's what you're asking. See, there are 3 persons. All of them have assembled here. So total distance traveled was 3 units. So if they're moving 1 step ahead, if they're meeting at a second milestone there, so everyone needs to travel 1 extra mile. And there are 3 persons. So all 3 would be traveling 1 extra mile. So 3 extra miles would be traveled. So from 3 it will become 6. I will just finish in just 1-2 minutes. Just let me complete this part. There should not be any doubt here. ठीक है ना? Okay. On this concept, on this idea of the distance or this type of arrangement, questions have been asked in quant part in CAT as well as LR part. I think that was the year 2013 or 14. 2013 or 14 it was, there was direct question based on this. And it was mentioned there are 25 friends, they are placed at 25 consecutive milestones, first, second, third, fourth, and so on. So at whose place they should meet so that the sum of the distances traveled is minimum, like that. Yes, in this case, minimum value is 2. So right now I have drawn the complete graph, but because it was asking only the minimum value, so the minimum value is always going to be at the middle place person, if there are odd number of persons. Yes, Aditya, that's correct, because 25 persons were there, so the 13th person, jo bhi tha, so at that place the value is going to be minimum. So question was there, I think, how much minimum distance would be travel or whose place? I think minimum distance kitna banega, that was the question. What will be the minimum distance travel? So we have to add the series there. That was the question there. Okay? Okay, so I think we can end it here. There are some more things left in this topic. We will continue in the next session. So let's end it today. I think we have done many things, and there are many mathematical things, and there are many mathematical things remaining also. We'll continue it in the last class, next class. Okay? Minimum value of the last question was 0. It is not 0, it is 2. Where it is 0? इसके बाद कितनी slides और हैं? Let me show you. After this this graph we have already done. Again 3-point graph, then 4-point graph is also there. If there are 4 terms, what will happen? Similar thing. Then there are some more graphs also there. So there are some parts left now. There are some parts remaining. There's some parts remaining that we'll cover next time. So this part we will do next time. So so far we have done. I'm giving you one question for homework. You are to find the minimum value of this expression, x minus 1 mod plus x minus 2 mod x minus 3 mod. First tell me the minimum value of this. Minimum value of. This is first question you have to tell me. And second one, x minus 1 mod, x minus 2 mod, x minus 3 mod, x minus 4 mod. This is the second part. And final part, x minus 1, x minus 2, x minus 3 up to x minus 2025. So these are the 3 questions based on the thing which we have discussed today. And we will continue this topic in the next class. As you can answer right now also, you will take not more than 1 or 2 minutes. For the first one, yes, for the first one answer is 2, that is correct. That's correct. For the first question, let me write. For the first question, answer is, for the first question, the critical points are 1, 2 and 3. So distance between these two extreme points is 2 units. So x may lie anywhere between 1 and 3. The distance, some of the distance will be 2. But some of the distance from this point 2 will be minimized when we make x, we bring x to 2 only. So the answer would be 2. For the second part, 2.5 is not correct. Third part, 0. Nahin, bhai, Aditya, it will be too much. Not 0. Second part answer. Second part 4. Okay, 4 you are saying. Yes, 4 is correct. Good. For second part, 4 is correct answer. There are 4 critical points. 1, 2, 3 and 4. So distance between these two extreme points is 3. Between 1 and 4 the distance is 3. So if x lies anywhere between 1 and 4, the sum of the distances of x from 1 and 4 will together be 3 only. Now to make the sum of distances of x from 2 and 3 minimum, x should lie between 2 and 3 anywhere, and that sum would be 1. So answer is 3 plus 1, that is 4. So the answer to the second part is 4. And similarly, just a small hint for all of you now for this last part. So there are 2025 critical points now, starting from 1, 2, 3 up to 2025. Right? So to make this sum of the distances minimum, x certainly must lie between this range only. So if x lies anywhere between 1 and 2025, the sum of the distances from these two extreme points would be how much? It is 2024. But we need to add further distances also. So it will become a sum of the sequences. It is going to be 1, 1, 0, 2, 6, 1, 0, 1, third place. So you're talking about the place. Place is fine. Yes, so x must be at 1, 0, 1, third place. That's true. But what is going to be the sum? That's what we want to find. So it is going to be 2024. Then between 2 and 2024, it will be 2022 and so on. So it will be series 2 plus 4 plus 6 and so on up to 2024. So this sum will give us the final answer. And it is going to be how much? You can calculate that easily. 1012 into 1013. On multiplication, you will get the answer. This will be a large answer here. Yes, homework class में कर लिया मैंने. But how to do it? Those who are not very clear, you should solve it. So basically, solve कर दिया मैंने पूरा का पूरा. Answers are also given. This is answer here. And how to solve that also I have discussed. But now you have to put your own brain inside this. Okay, so let's finish the part here. We'll continue the remaining topic in the next session. Aditya, I have repeated everything. Whatever I had to say about this, we have discussed it earlier and now also I have discussed. So try to think on your own first now. Okay, so we shall end here. So thank you very much for your patience. I know it is hard on your part. Third पूरा clear नहीं हुआ. Third is the actual question. You need to think. It is on similar lines. There is no difference. As we did 3 plus 1 here, same way here. Also we have to add the distances. So the first distance between the extreme points between 1 and 2025, it is 2024. Then next extreme points 2 and 2024, the sum would be 2022 and so on. So it will go up to 2. So it will become a series of all the numbers 2 plus 4 plus 6 plus 8 up to 2024. That will be the sum. Okay, tata, bye, sayonara, good night. Thank you. I know that in this night time, this evening time, I'm making a lot of brain work from your side, but it is good. It's a good part on yours. It is good on your part. It will be helpful. Okay, thank you very much. Series गलत लग रही है आपको? I don't think so. It is correct, beta. It's right. It's right. It's right. It's absolutely right. Series is absolutely right, and my sum is also absolutely right. There is no mistake. Okay, thank you very much. So I'm ending it here. Rahul Patida, that is not the right series. Series will be that much, which I have written here. See, when they're meeting at the 1013th place, you try to solve again, then you can find the answer. Acha, you are solving by putting the value, I guess. Some of you are writing the series, I think you are putting the values. So you can put the value of x as 1013 and then also you can get the answer. There's no issue in that. If you put x is equal to 1013, this will be 1012, 1011 like that, and that will be 2 times. So twice of that. Twice of that. That's also one of the ways. That's fine. Okay, thank you now. So I'm ending this session. We can use the formula of sum of an AP. Yes, Ritika, why not? That becomes an AP, you can use that formula. Okay, final bye now.